What's up, guys? This is your boy Jay Corbett of Team Sanctum, and we're back with another deck profile. And today we're going to be taking a look at my concoction called Shinobird Incantation mekk-knight Kaijus, a deck that is geared towards going second and nothing else. It's meant to destroy your opponent's board and OTK immediately after you do it. The deck does not grind out. This deck really cannot grind out. However, it can just destroy your opponent's board if you open up the right cards, if you have the right setup, and you out the right things that you need to out. So let's get right into the deck profile. So for the monster lineup, we got two Rocky Boys. We got two Aratamas for the searches. We got Mad Flame Kaiju Dogoran. We got two Gameciel. Got two of the new ritual monsters that are in this deck. So we're running two Incantation Kandal, which searches for the ritual spells, and three Talismandra that searches for the ritual monsters in the deck. And then we're running Manju because you have to run Manju. You run them at 2 in this version of my deck. You got two mekk-knight Blue Sky for the mekk-knight lineup, one mekk-knight Indigo Eclipse, three mekk-knight Purple Nightfall. And then we have two Nikitama. And then for the ritual monsters that make or break this deck are three Shinobird Peacock, which has a non-targeting effects. Both of the ritual monsters have non-targeting effects. So Baron bounces up to 3 monsters on the field to your opponent's hand, and then you can special summon a spirit monster from your hand to the field. And then Shinobird shuffles back up to 3 spell or trap cards on the field into your opponent's deck. Then you can special summon a spirit monster from your deck. Now, mind you, both of these effects ignore summoning conditions when you get them off. So that's the point of running Rocky Boys, because he's a spirit, and you can just special summon him off of these effects and lock your opponent out of the game. So that's it for the monster lineup. Next, we're going to go into spells. So we're running 1 Kaiju Slumber. We got 3 Pre-Preparation of Rites. We got 1 Raigeki, 3 Shinobird's Calling, 3 Trade-In, and then 1 Urgent Ritual Art. So let's go into the extra deck. In extra deck, what we have is 1 Karagorgon, 1 Castel, 1 Gagaga Samurai, 1 Gem Knight Pearl, because like my buddy Connor, he made me a Iron Man version of it, so I'm just running it just to run it. 1 Ragnazira, running the Utopia package, so Utopia 39, S39 Prime, and then S39 Lightning. Then we got Plan B, Baguska himself, and that's it for the XZ's lineup. For the Link lineup, we have Greatfly, and then we have the Nightmare lineup, which is Nightmare Cerberus, Nightmare Phoenix, Nightmare Unicorn, and to round off all the extra deck monsters, we have Link Spider and Underclock Taker. Now, to explain some of the reasons why for some of these ratios. So for the incantations, that's an important ratio. You run 2 of Kandal because you don't have a lot of ritual spells. You only have these 3. So if you somehow magically open up him with this, you can search out your monster and be able to set up. Now, 3 of this, you run 6 rituals. So no matter what, you'll somehow, for some reason, open up with one of these. And if you open up one of these, then you can special summon him out and search for your ritual spell, which is pretty good. The Kaijus are in here because they're level 8s and they're trade-in targets. And the best thing is, if you Kaiju someone's monster and then you summon out Baron, you can bounce the Kaiju back. You can re-Kaiju something to get rid of another problem card, and then you can go off from there. Aratama, he's just a searcher for your spirits, mainly for your rituals. You'll sometimes search for Nikitama, but I mean, hey, it's how you play. Nikitama, he's there for the extra normal summon, specifically for Aratama. And he also has a draw effect in which you can stack with their effects. So when they're summoned, if you know your opponent has a Ash Blossom or a Ghost Ogre, what you would do is you would summon them, activate their effects, you would make Baron or Baroness Chainlink 1, and then Nikitama would be Chainlink 2. They would have to respond to Chainlink 2 Nikitama for the draw. So if they have the Ash Blossom, yeah, they can Ash that, but you get the more important effect off, which is either special summoning from your hand or special summoning from the deck. Or avoiding Ogre. This one avoids Ash Blossom more. This one's supposed to avoid Ogre. Either way, continuing on, mekk-knights. The mekk-knight engine has been very useful to me because going second, if I open up this and I don't know, a bunch of the ritual stuff, I can use this to bait my opponent and make them think like, oh, I'm probably playing invoked mekk-knight or some variation of mekk-knights, and bait my opponent into wanting to stop this. And if they end up stopping this, then I'm like, okay, cool, I'm free to play the game and I can do all my ritual stuff, which sometimes throws them off because they expect invoked or other plays, but when they see the ritual stuff, then they actually are like, I don't know how to respond to any of this. Because let's be real, who expects freaking Shinobird mekk-knights? Like, who expects that to be at a regional? Because that's exactly what happened. Is that at a regional, I played a version of this that didn't have the incantations in it, and it threw off my opponent. Oh, last card. I keep forgetting too. Last card in the deck. My fault on that. Urgent Ritual Art. That's just for going first. Like, so if your opponent forces you to go first and you have all your ritual stuff in hand, but you don't want them to know what you're playing, you just set that past turn. If you see that your opponent is setting up stuff, then you just go flip this during like battle phase or when they're about to set up their important stuff. Boom, you summon out either this or this, and you just get rid of important cards, and it sets them back like a lot. And then the important thing is that they do bounce, the ritual monsters bounce back to your hand at the end phase, and you get 2 tokens, and you can use those tokens to make Great Fly, in which if you have ritual fodder in your hand or you manage to get it, then you can resummon this out. This becomes a 3500 beater, this becomes a 3k beater, and yeah, it's just nutty. The fact that these guys are link fodder, well, not link fodder, but they provide us link fodder if get into a situation, is just amazing. Last thing before I end this video is suggested cards I can suggest playing in this. I would say play Scapegoat. I've recently become a big fan of the card, especially after I found out with Scapegoat you can use the tokens as ritual material, because the text on the card doesn't state that you can use it for tribute. It just says you can't tribute summon using them as a material. You can tribute them still, so you can use them as ritual fodder also, which is great. Well, that's all the time. Thank you guys for watching this deck profile. If you got any questions or concerns about this deck, or if you need me to explain combos, or you want me to go more in depth with it, leave a like on the video. Please comment below. Subscribe to Team Sanctum for more content. And as always, it's your boy Jay Corbett, signing out.